Wagwan, wonderful people. Welcome to the channel. This is Denzel the Griffin, and in today's video, we're going deep into a topic with it, which is my secret tool to getting correct proportions and basically to character creation, not necessarily design, but more of character creation. Okay, so we're going to be talking about proportions and how to get it right, appeal and how to do that right, and not how to make something look natural, which is make it believable but still stylized. So not realistic. This can also work for realistic characters as well, but not realistic but believable enough that to make it look natural enough that it will exist in real life but still stylized. Okay. So this tool that I'm talking about now is called the Griffin Calipers. Okay. Now, it is created by yours truly, Denzel the Griffin. So the Griffin Calipers, it's nothing fancy, okay? So in this video, I'm going to be showing you what it is, what inspired it. We're going to have a little history lesson, some real life examples, and I'll show you how I applied it in my recent work as well, how to download it, how to install it, how to load it, and how to use it. Before we go any further, I want to tell you that it is completely free for anyone who wants it. So as we progress, I'll show you all that. So what is it? Now, it is a tool that is made with the golden ratio in mind. It has the ideal proportions of the golden ratio, which is 1 is to 1.618. Now, more on that later. It exists in the real world and are called golden calipers, but I needed it in 3D space, so I made the Griffin calipers. Now, what inspired it? Okay, it was actually inspired by a video by Steven Silver, which is the character designer for the amazing Kim Possible, and has done awesome works as well. I'm just giving the highlights of his career. Now, he showed very in depth how he used this tool to achieve ideal proportions because stylized proportions technically don't exist in real life. So it's easy to get lost in trying to get something right. So I made it so you don't have to. So I'm giving it to you completely free. So you can thank me by hitting that subscribe button. Okay, so let's talk about some history. Now, this will be very brief. We're not going too in depth into this. So try to stick around with me, and it'll be worth it at the end when you know how to use this tool to create fantastic characters. Now, the golden ratio was derived from a mathematical something, formula or something, called the Fibonacci sequence by Leonardo Fibonacci. Basically, it is basically adding a number to the number that was before that number. That's, for example, 0, 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, that's 3, 3 plus 2, that's 5. You get the idea. Now, the golden ratio is that somehow if you divide the numbers in this sequence by the numbers that follow it, you will get 1.618. Yes, that is the magic number, also called phi, another mathematical term. Sorry about that. But we aren't mathematicians here. So let's talk about how you can use this for design and for characters. Real life examples, let's look at some. Now I have this picture, forgive the quality, but you can see this beautiful golden spiral and golden ratio in the map of Africa, and it's just wonderful how in the real world, naturally, uh, things exist and these proportions exist in the real world. So when I say stylized, we're grounding it in real world proportions, but we're just shaking it up a bit, simplifying it. Let's call it that. So on the left, we have a picture of the human body, and we'll go more in depth in that later on in the video. But you can see how this applies beautifully. Now we have it in the ear as well, and this ear just lines up perfectly. So for more real life examples, just look up golden ratio in nature and golden ratio in real life, and you'll be amazed with the results you see. Now on to the demo. Let's hop into the demo, and for the demo, I want to show you some examples of how I use it in a recent character I created by with the concept from the amazing Luigi Lucarelli. I hope I pronounced that right. I think I did. So we can see it how this applies very beautifully in this character here, from the crotch area to the chin and to the top of the head. Now this large thing you see by her side, these are the Griffin calipers. So as we progress, you get to understand more. And as I just continue with the images, you can see how from the ankle to the knee to the waist, it lines up perfectly. And you don't want to line up perfectly because all your characters might look the same, but you want to get that ballpark range, like Steven Silver said in his video, where you're close to it and you get the feel of the proportions, but you're not necessarily hitting the exact target. And I see this in the arm as well. And in this arm, it was completely coincidental. With time, you just happen to learn these proportions and you look at something and it looks right. But this arm, it was completely coincidental. I just made an arm and it happened to line up. So I added it in the video. Now the face as well, which is something that is very difficult to get right. I'm very pleased with how this turned out. But from the hairline down to the nose, down to the chin, you can see beautiful proportions. From the side of the face, you can see that it did not match up exactly. That's what I said, ballpark range. You don't want to be exact. You just want something around that area. You can see again in the nose, from the sides of the nose to the side of the face. You can see it again in her body, from her shoulder to her crotch to her waist. Beautiful proportions. Back to what I was saying, you can still see the same ratio applied to this character, just in a stylized manner. Everything lines up perfectly. Okay, back to the slideshow. So how to download it? Now this is the probably the simplest part. You just click the link in the description to go to my Google Drive and download options. You download it to your computer or to your own drive or Dropbox. And the instruction on how to load it are provided in the files as well. But I'm still going to show you how to use it or how to load it. I think I would. We still have some minutes to go in the tutorial, so let's just get that out of the way. So again, I'm giving this completely free, so you can just thank me by hitting the subscribe button, that nice red button down there that says subscribe. Just click it and that's enough for me. Okay, how to install it and use it, another demo. Okay, so in the making of this video, I have not finished uh packaging it, so let's get into it. Okay, so when you open the zip file, you should have something like this might change, but you should have something around this. So the Griffin calipers, go into the Griffin calipers, you will have a readme how to set up. Now if you read this document, you would understand how to set it up, how to load it up for each software. And okay, let's just do it. We won't bother looking at it. So for Blender users, you want to click this guy, and yours is probably the simplest. You just double click on the blend file and open up the blend file, and you should have the Griffin calipers ready. Okay, so you should have this, and this is basically what you have, and you can use this in your scenes. Just use it to measure out the character or the scenes as well, whatever you please. Optionally, you can add it in a different file. Let's say you have a scene already and you need it here. You can copy it from that file and bring it into here and paste it, or you can import the FBX from wherever you saved it, and you just import the FBX that comes in the file here, and you can just use it for whatever. Now I know I said Blender and ZBrush users, but whatever 3D package you use, you can actually use the Griffin calipers. I have the FBX here, and I'll be sure to add a file called others for you here. I just hope I remember that. But I'll be sure to add a file called others here, where you can just where the only the FBX will be provided. Now ZBrush users is sort of a workaround. You can do it directly by just clicking the Griffin Calipers ZBrush tool here, save that's the Z tool here, Or you can open up ZBrush and you can import the FBX into your file, or you can open up ZBrush and you can load the tool. Okay, so that's the approach we're going to use. Let me close up Blender and let's launch ZBrush. Now my navigation with ZBrush would be horrible because my tablet is not with me right now. So ZBrush opened up, load the tool, and you go to wherever it's saved. Nope, not here. Nope, nope, nope. Wherever you have the file, where is it? Griffin Calipers, ZBrush, and you can load the Z tool and you can just drag it out. Go into edit mode and enjoy. Now you can add other subtools under and just use this as a guide. Okay, I didn't want to make this a project because I didn't just feel the need to make it a project, so I made it a tool. This video has gone on long enough. Let's get into the final part of the slide and we can call it done. There is a final part, right? Nope, that's the end. Okay, we've covered everything we hope to cover. Thank you guys so much for watching. I never take your time for granted. I hope you find it useful, and if you do, do well to share your work with me. I am on IG at Denzel_D_Griffin. You can see that on your screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until I end up on your screens again, this is the Griffin signing out.